I'm in Cancun, Mexico. A couple of weeks ago, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it here. You see, a couple of years ago, I started experiencing a lot of anxiety before traveling. I had this one experience where I started feeling it, and then it just created this cycle and this pattern of anxiety before trips. So my stomach would get upset and I'd feel really nauseous. I'd have to go to the bathroom several times. I would panic and freeze and feel like I couldn't even move out of my seat, let alone get to the airport on time for our flight. And a couple of months ago, I didn't even make it to the airport because I just couldn't do it. I was crying, I was an emotional wreck, and I couldn't do it. So building up to this trip, I was doing all the things that I could think of to be ready so that I could come here to Cancun and be in my happy place on the beach with the ocean and hearing all the beautiful sounds. So I did alignments, I did some energy clearing, I did some healing, visualizations, I wrote things down and burned them, wrote things in my journal. I worked with other mentors, all to try and overcome this anxiety that I've been experiencing. And it was so frustrating because I've been on lots of trips before. Like I've been to Australia and I did okay, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. It was so frustrating. So a couple weeks before this trip, I felt the anxiety building, and it was starting to build, and I was, going through all of my tools and just kind of hoping and praying for a miracle that something would work. And I started doing something on my AO scan. It's called a mind sync. And I recorded my voice saying affirmations about traveling, that my digestion would work properly and that I would be able to feel peaceful during travel and I'd feel safe during travel. A whole bunch of things, and I was starting to feel a little bit better, but at the same time the anxiety was still building. So the day before our trip, I was sitting watching some random show on TV during my lunch break, and this thought came to me that was just thinking back to the Ironman races that I've done. And when I went to do those Ironman races, I prepared. Like, I was a person who did all their workouts and rarely missed one. I missed, late night adventures with friends, and got up at 3:30 in the morning sometimes to do my workouts. Like, I was consistent. So when I showed up for those races, I was always prepared and ready. And even though it was still hard and I still experienced pain during the races, I got them done and I finished 2 Ironman races. And the thought came to my mind that just like those Ironman races, I've done the preparation, the work to overcome this anxiety before travel. For the last 2 years, I've been putting in work, hours and hours of work. And even though I didn't have, my watch to track how many hours I was putting in, or an app to tell me how many hours that week I had done work on this anxiety, like I had for the Ironman, that didn't make it any less important. And when that realization came, I was like, wait, I've totally got this. I have put in the work. I've put in the preparation. I've done everything I can do to overcome this anxiety. And now I have to trust the process. That was a key phrase when I was training for an Ironman. You do the work and then you trust that you can do the race. So I was just thinking, I've done the work and now I have to trust that I can travel without major anxiety problems. And that shift, the anxiety from my stomach left and my stomach felt calm and peaceful. And the whole rest of the day, I felt calm. I'm like, okay, tentatively just kind of stepping into this and tiptoeing into this, hoping that things would still go well. But I still was thinking, yeah, I can do this. I've got this because I've done the work. And so that morning that we were supposed to go to the airport and travel here to Cancun, sure enough, I felt totally calm. And I was like, yes! I was so excited. I had one moment when we left the house that I started to feel a little nervous, but then I was like, no, I've got this. I did the work. I did the preparation, and that counts and that matters. And we got to the airport, made it through security, no problems, no issues, didn't have any anxiety problems. And I was like, yes, finally. So it was just that little shift in recognizing that all of the little things that I've done over the last couple of years added up to make the difference. And then it just instilled in me this self-confidence, knowing that I could do this, that I could design the emotional experience that I really wanted, and be able to travel to places like this and enjoy it and have fun with my husband, rather than sitting there and worrying and stressing and freaking out the whole time about how's my stomach gonna react and am I gonna be able to do this? It was just so awesome. And these are the kind of things that we teach our clients how to do, because as an empath, you're often taking in other people's emotions and it creates anxiety because you have all this built up emotion, you don't know what to do with it. So we teach you the tools so that you do the work. And you do the work and you do the work so that over time, as you heal all the layers and peel all those back, you can have the confidence to know that, hey, I can go travel, or I can face someone who is an issue in my life, or I can go to that job interview knowing that I can do this without anxiety. So if you want to know more about our programs, go to emotionsbydesign.me and sign up for our program, book a consult call, and we will help you overcome stuff like this, just like I did. And then you can come to Cancun. Woo! And that's Emotions by Design.